So Facebook has got some really, really big problems right now, and not sure exactly what this means for the future of Facebook, because it could be a problem. I mean, this could be very, very serious for them. Hey, everybody, this is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger, and yes, Amazon #1 best-selling author. Facebook, this thing about Facebook is really important for us to be paying attention to, because it's not just a Facebook situation that we're looking at, it's a social media situation that we are looking at. It just so happens that the big dog Facebook, with over 2 billion, I think it's 2.2 billion users, or registered users at last count, is causing them a lot of problems. Obviously, the big thing that is causing them the immediate problem is the privacy issue, and that is serious. That is very, very serious. But the privacy issue has been created out of the business model that Facebook has created to make money from. Okay, because those of us that advertise on Facebook know that we are able to very narrowly target audiences, and I mean literally right down to a single person if we want, and send out messaging to them. And the only way that Facebook can do that is for them to collect a lot of information from us, and if they don't protect that information, then that's a serious issue. So, but see, here's the bigger problem for Facebook, and this is a social media situation. Facebook is the 800-pound gorilla, okay? But even before the privacy issues came up, Facebook was already having big problems because they were declining. They were declining. Look, I mean, here, like for example, the only age group category that is growing on Facebook right now are, according to eMarketer, are the 55 and older category. You know, I think a lot of people, my daughter included, has said that their age group is dropping off, and the only ones that are really getting on now are the older generation. The number of, whoops, sorry about that. Let me turn that off. Facebook itself announced that the overall usage was down 50 million hours per day in 2017, or more recently, I guess. Again, according to eMarketer, the number of users has gone down 2.8 million. Now, I know that's a drop in the bucket of the 2.2 billion, but it's a start. Okay, and but something that's even more significant to me, and as a B2B marketer, those of us that we look at this as a marketing tool, folks. That's what this is. We are looking at something like Facebook and social media as a marketing tool. Is that because if we're doing it right, what we wanted to have happen is that we want to have people click in Facebook and leave and go to outside websites, right? That's what we want them to do. But according to Shareaholic.com, traffic to websites from Facebook has dropped 41% in the last year. 41% in the last year. Those of us, many of us, looked at something like social media, in particular Facebook, for the organic reach that we were able to get. In other words, free. Okay? That's what we're looking for. For some reason, we have it in our heads that we can build our businesses with just free stuff. And the reality is that Facebook, as it started its business making, in the beginning it was pretty free, okay, but ultimately they were always going to become a pay-to-play game for corporations. They're a business, folks. They have to make money, just like all the rest of us. They had to figure out how to do it, and guess what? We're the ones who are going to pay, the businesses. It was always going to be us that was going to pay. So the idea of just relying on organic traffic to use social media to drive people organically or free to our websites was always a very, very short-term play. And if you didn't have a pay-to-play strategy built into that, then you failed to understand what marketing is all about. I mean, take a look at this. Back in 2011, even if you had great organic reach back in 2011, where maybe you had 10,000, and then I had this conversation on a webinar recently, a chat with somebody who said that they have 10,000 friends on Facebook. So what? All right. Back in 2011, if you had 10,000 friends on Facebook and you sent out an organic post, it still only went to 26% of those people, according to Agorapulse and Nielsen. And nowadays, it's less than 1%. So when you post something free on Facebook, it is going to less than 1% of the people that are on your friends list. See, there is no such thing as free, gang. They were just giving you crack cocaine. They were just giving you meth so that you could get hooked and then when they turned around and they said, okay, now you have to pay, well, you weren't really ready for that. And too many of you are still not doing that. You still think that you can just post and be successful, and you are not being successful anymore. When your organic reach is less than 1%, then that is just simply not good enough. So let me give you 3 things that you need to be paying attention to. You need to remember and pay attention to when it comes to social media. Number 1 is, where are your moose? Can you really find your moose on social media? Not just Facebook, but the people that are leaving Facebook. The young people that are leaving Facebook, they're going to Instagram, they're going to Snapchat, stuff like that. Well, guess what? The rules are going to change there too. The rules will always change because these are still businesses who are looking to make money. All right, so you need to go into that with your eyes wide open and with a strategy of how to use the pay to play. And if you can find your moose, and that was the beauty of Facebook. It still is the beauty of Facebook. While it's still here, is that you can finely tune your target marketing to your moose and send messaging to them. So you can still do that while they're still around, but it's a pay to play game. And when it's a pay to play game, there is a maxim in the marketing world, and that maxim is, he who is willing to spend the most money to capture a customer will always win. So you got to pay attention to that too. You can't cheap out on this. You can't go out there and think that you're gonna find somebody who's gonna spend thousands of dollars with you, but you're gonna get them for pennies. You're not gonna get them for pennies. That's number 2. And number 3 is that social media is content. It's content marketing. When you're not just announcing new stuff about your products or things like that. You are looking to deliver content to people who want to receive content. Now, here's the thing about content and audiences, and that is, number 1, if the content is never seen, which is what organically is happening nowadays, it's never seen, its value is 0. If that content is not consumed, if it's not useful for them and they don't use it, its value is 0. And if that content if it's not being shared among their peers, the value is 0. So if you want to play in the social media world, understand it's just like all the rest of the tools. There is a price to pay for using it, and you've got to recognize that and use it that way. This is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, and marketing gunslinger and Amazon #1 best-selling author. That's my message for this week about social media and Facebook. I'll be back again next week with another uncopyable business message. And until then, always remember, be uncopyable. See ya.